Hey guys, I'm Tyde, here to talk about the Red Wing Shop Moc Oxford. And I have to say, I'm super excited to be here today. When we found out about this video and this opportunity, I immediately raised my hand, I volunteered myself, and I knew I just wanted to do this. Red Wing was founded in 1905, and they originally started off as a work boot. And since then, they've really evolved. In the 1970s, we really saw the European market, the Japanese market, take a hold of kind of the Americana workwear kind of lifestyle. And Red Wing, being the experts in their field, they took all the insights from their global partners, formalized into their heritage lifestyle line. This line is dedicated to being made in USA, staying premium, comfortable, and true to their roots. Before we dive deeper into this product, we want to show you the evolution of the Classic Moc family that previously included two styles, the Classic Moc in an 8-inch, Classic Moc in a 6-inch, and now in a nice low-cut Oxford. It all started here with the Classic Moc in an 8-inch silhouette, and you can clearly see the DNA across all three styles. Classic Moc toe, Goodyear-welted, nickel eyelets with the wedge bottom. The entire tongue is gusseted, so it made it great for a work boot. You can beat this thing up, you can get it wet, it'll keep you nice and protected. But obviously, getting into a high boot, 8 inches, is a little bit harder. You have a lot of laces, you have to shove your foot in there. One of the things that was different about this style is what it was originally designed for, which was hunting and work. Over time, Red Wing had actually decided to introduce a new model. This was launched in 1954. This is the 6-inch Classic Moc toe, which is probably more well-known and more recognizable. They just went ahead and actually removed the 2 inches from the top of this boot shaft here. This was a big game changer. It got easier to get into, it was a little bit more wearable. It's been around for 70 years and it's still relevant. And the Shop Moc is just an evolution from their OG Oxford that was launched back in 1954, also taking the DNA of the Classic Moc toe family and then bringing it into a lower cut style. So when you get into the Shop Moc Oxford, it's just a fresh take on their best-selling silhouette. It's a lower cut. It actually opens up the Red Wing brand to more audiences. When it comes to owning these styles, don't be afraid to own more than one. Again, we have the boot styles here, which are great for the fall, great for the winter. And then we have this guy here, better for the warmer weather months, better for transitional seasons. So let's dive into the Shop Moc. The first thing I noticed when I opened the box is actually the smell of it. Kind of reminds me of beef jerky, but to me, when I smell that, it just reminds me of full grain leather. It's not that synthetic stuff. It's properly tanned and it's premium. One of the other things you'll notice is there's a little tag in here. Big shout out to Mary. She's the examiner of this style. So when you unbox this, you immediately know that someone has actually QC'd this. So big shout out to Red Wing for making sure they only ship out quality product. The other big construction call out would be the Moc toe. Gives you a lot more room in the toe, a little bit more comfort, so I love this construction. Other details to note would be the 3-row stitching. It's kind of like a Red Wing and it's very nice detail. And when you get into the actual quarter and the rest of the style, it's still taking that classic look as the other boots, but when you get into the collar, when you get into the shaft area, again, that's been chopped off. And so I'm gonna be a little bit of a nerd here. I'm gonna pull out my ruler. This is coming out to be about 3 inches when you look at the height from the outside. You have premium nickel eyelets, very nice, look great, and they just are proportionally the right size for this style. When it gets to the laces, we have this nice yellow-brown taslin, iconic across the entire Red Wing line. You see how the eyelet, this curve here, and you go all the way down to the actual collar, you'll see that this edge is folded over. Still one layer, but they're just folding it over here to give you that 2 layers in certain areas. So when you get to the heel area, we just call this anti-slip. Really nice detail here. Pretty traditional to classic boots to make sure that you don't slip out of the style. You see that the tongue, it doesn't have any stitching here on the exterior edges. So this basically just means that you're seeing the hairy side of the leather on the inside. It's just a really, really great construction because Red Wing is using less layers. They're relying on the flexibility and the durability of this leather. When you get to the inside of the style, a few things that you can easily see would be the classic Red Wing stamp. So that's right here in the heel. Then you have a genuine leather insole as well. Still using that classic wedge sole. For the Red Wing lovers out there, you're very familiar with this. This won't be anything new. One thing I love about the sole though is it's premium. You know that someone did this by hand. And so if you see this texture here, when you zoom in, you actually see that this is actually how they shave off the sole after it's been soleed or actually been attached to the bottom. It is a Goodyear-welted style, which Red Wing is known for. So that means a lifetime of resoles. If you want to swap out the sole when it wears down, or if you want to freshen up the look, you can do that here. And if you're new to Red Wing or if you're new to boots, well, the one thing you can expect is for this to be a firm ride, but you also have the nice cushion from the midsole here. You got a little bit of spring to provide that comfort. As far as the fit goes, this is actually using the number 23 last. So if you're familiar with Red Wing, buy the same size. They did not change the last, which is great. If you're new to Red Wing, I highly recommend actually going a half size down from your normal size. I'm wearing them right out of the box, and they've been comfortable. I've been walking around with this in the office. I've been running errands with them. As you're walking, the sole just naturally kind of has like a nice little rocker in it. But if you're someone who is used to wearing sneakers, you're probably going to want to expect a little bit more of a break-in period. This is the Oral Legacy colorway. This leather is iconic across the Woodwing brand. It's pretty much synonymous at this point. It's that nice reddish brown. It's full grain. You're gonna see, hey, there's some unevenness here. There's some scuffs, there's some scratches, and it's a good thing. This is just some pre-developed patina that's already coming in the box for you. This style will take it very, very nicely. Some other really intentional things or details about the upper. The heel is just slightly darker here. So basically what the craftsman will do as they're making it is they're just gonna hit it with a little wheel. It's burnishing, it's this really rapid wheel. And again, you're gonna get the unevenness, which is actually really, really desired. So don't worry about that if it seems like the boot is not the same exact color or if it looks a little bit broken in as soon as you open that box. But if this is not your jam, if this is not your style, don't worry. We also have the Black Prairie and the Hawthorne Abilene. So we have some really nice options here. Obviously a reddish brown, a black, and a nice light tan. Personally, I've been wearing the Hawthorne Abilene colorway. This was an easy way to fit into my closet. I'm kind of going with like the Flint and Tinder look from head to toe. So I like to wear these with cuff jeans just to show off that this is the low cut version of the Classic Moc. Again, these are all workwear inspired. Other styles to keep in mind would be the mill pant from Flint and Tinder or the 365 chinos. So at the end of the day, just make this your own. Style it how you want to. Wear it with shorts, wear it with long shorts, wear it with capris, do whatever you want. One thing to note about the actual price point of this style, it's a little bit more accessible than the classic 6-inch boot and the 8-inch. And so this is a great entry point to the brand. So highly recommend starting here. So thank you guys for joining me for the first look of the Shop Moc Oxford. This has been great walking you through the evolution. They're made here in the USA, they're durable, they're gonna last a lifetime, and I highly recommend you add one to your closet. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Tyde in the Gear Lab, and I'll see you out there.